everybody. Today we're going to talk about air filtration in my shop and the solution that I came to. First, because of what we've been going through, and I don't want to say the word and get hammered by YouTube, but for that illness that's been going around, everybody's been wearing one of these face masks. Well, the highest quality face mask is called an N95, and it will filter down to 0.03 microns. So if you had 1 micron in size, it would go down to 3 times smaller than that, or that's my understanding. So I started off on looking for a dust solution because I would find that even when I was cutting things with my CNC and it was being fully vacuumed up, I was still getting dust into the air. Not only was it a pain to clean up, but I knew that I was breathing it in. So I started to look for a couple of solutions. Almost every product that I turned to, and I ended up buying that one down there, the Wen system, it filters down to 1 micron. And in my garage, I have about 400 square feet. So you need to calculate both the flow of air and the replacement ratio in the room. Now, this system down here was the least expensive on the market. But the important part is it would move the amount of air in the room that was necessary to give me the repetitive cycle to clean the air. And it was filtering to the same particulate, the same 1 micron that all the other systems were. Now, it came down between 2 systems for me. One was the Powermatic, and the other was this one. But this one I found at the last minute. Now, the Powermatic, according to the advertisements that I saw, would also go down to 1 micron. So we were similar. I had seen these at, or something like this, I think at Rockler in San Diego. And I thought, well, these are pretty interesting, but with everybody wearing a mask out in public right now, I didn't feel like this was something I really wanted to go to. It had the interior baffle, so when you exhale, the air that's inside the mask will come out. And when you inhale, that baffle closes and then it filters. Now this goes down to 1 micron also. So I started to think to myself, do I really even need anything, or should I start wearing one of these masks? I had not even really researched whether an N95 would work. And an N95 mask is in fact superior to this, provided that you can trust the quality of manufacture of the N95 mask. I remember a certain governor in the state of California ordering a whole bunch of N95 masks and then finding out that they didn't filter to N95. But that's a whole entirely different story. So I figured if I could pull down to 1 micron with this and 1 micron with that filter, I'd be perfectly set. Now, when I looked at the Powermatic, it was approximately, I'm going to use approximate figures, it was about $700 by the time that I got it here and paid tax on it. And it was a circular system, and you could also take and wash the filters out. So I thought, well, it's reusable, but then there is one filter that you've got to change. Well, what would the frequency of that be? So I started to look and compare, and I found this Wen. It goes down to 1 micron also. It's $134. I could buy a lot of filters for the difference in cost. I started to calculate in how frequently this would be running. I'm basically running a hobbyist location. I'm going to use my Stepcraft M1000 CNC machine probably more than the average person, but I'm not doing it for a commercial pursuit. But I still wanted to have clean air. So that was the one that I selected. Now, where could I put it? Many people will hang these from a ceiling location, but that means that you have the exposed wire, and I looked at my handy dandy favorite rolling workbench, and it fits right underneath there. I attached it and ran the wire down the side with some twist ties. The next thing you know, all I have to do is plug this in and go. I found this system for $134 to be phenomenal. It even comes with a remote. Not that I'll probably ever use this because all I have to do is go over to the side and push the button in. Now, if I factor in that if I wear this and I have this machine running, I'm probably going to have far superior air filtration to even what's available in most locations or most wood shops commercially. So I'm really pretty happy. Cost of this, about $20 with multiple filters and extra baffles. How could a guy go wrong? I say $500. Why not? It seems like it was the imperative thing to do. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my CNC machine as I continue to build out my garage. As you know, I'm trying to make both a combination studio and wood shop and put my 2 cars in here at night. I've almost got it pulled off. I have to make a trash can roller system because I use a galvanized trash can to put my extra spare wood scraps, those kind of things that someday will end up being a cutting board. I've got to come up with something for that because I like to be able to move all of my stuff away from the wall, sweep, and even wash my floor. I like to work in a clean environment. If you're in a clean environment, you'll end up with a better product, it's safer, and by the way, when I am on my CNC machine or using any of the other equipment, I also wear safety glasses. Why not take as good a care of yourself as possible? Like they used to say in the old days, you know, when I rode motorcycles, they said, cheap head, cheap helmet. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you have the proper eye protection, breathing protection, and use your tools. No alcohol. Don't be drinking beers when you're using this equipment. It's not a good idea. You can end up coming up with a few less fingers. I wish you all the best. The next video is going to be a little bit of a project. I'm almost finished with the shop, and then I'll do a 360 tour and let you see everything. By the way, this is what it looks like without all the fancy lighting. You can create a workshop for yourself, a studio. You can create. Go out and do it. It's better than sitting around watching the TV.